So I made an app. And I know that sounds like something people just say, but I actually did it. It's on the App Store, it works, and I'm genuinely excited to show it to you. SoundSheet started as a pretty simple idea. What if you had one place that combines your work schedule, your gear, inventory, your notes, and your job management, all connected, all talking to each other? I'm a sound person, I work in film and TV, I do sound effects recording, and I thought this kind of tool would actually be really useful for the way I work, so I built it. This video is me walking you through everything it does. Let's get into it. Cactus sound. SoundSheet is built for two types of people. The first is anyone working in a film or TV sound department, production sound mixers, boom operators, sound supervisors, equipment rental companies, people who are managing shooting days, gear, call times, bookings. The second is sound designers and sound effects recordists, people who plan dedicated recording days, go out into the field or into studios specifically to capture sound effects and need to organize what they're going after, what gear they're taking, and what they've captured. Both of those workflows live inside SoundSheet, and they work really well together because honestly, a lot of us do both. You're on set for a drama and then you're out in a forest with a field recorder the next week. The app handles both without you having to switch tools. The core of the app is shooting days. This is where everything starts. You create a day and the first decision is the type. And I really like this part because it already sets the context for the whole day. Set means you're on a film or TV set. SFX means it's a dedicated sound effects recording session. Could be in a studio, out in nature, anywhere. Scout means you're doing a location recce. And rental means it's a logistics day, gear movement, pickups, returns. Each type shapes how you think about that day and what you attach to it. Then you add the details, client name, call time, any notes you want to have on hand. And that day lives in your list, fully searchable and sortable. You can filter by type, by date, whatever makes sense for how you're looking at your schedule. Finish the project, archive the days. They're not in your face anymore, but they're not gone. You can always go back. And then there's the call sheet export. On tap, you get a PDF. Clean, formatted, ready to send. That one feature alone has saved me a lot of time. Every day you create gets its own equipment checklist. And this is where the app starts to feel genuinely useful rather than just organized. You build a list of everything you're taking for that day. And you can link each item to your master inventory, which I'll show you in a second. And that connection is what makes the whole thing intelligent. When items are linked, the app knows where your gear is going. If you've got 2 days overlapping and the same piece of kit on both checklists, it flags the conflict. You catch it early, at your desk, not on the day. On the day itself, the checklist becomes your packing workflow. You tick items as you load them, you log battery levels, so you've got a record of what went out fresh and what came back needing a charge. You add per item notes if something's got a loose connector or needs attention. It's genuinely satisfying to work through. Everything gets ticked, everything's accounted for, and you leave with confidence that you've got what you need. The inventory is your master record of everything you own or manage. You put your gear in here, recorders, microphones, booms, cables, cases, batteries, all of it. You set quantities, brands, categories. It's your full kit in the app. And then what's really cool, the availability view. For every item, SoundSheet shows you what's currently free, what's reserved for an upcoming day, and what's out on a job right now. That's all pulled automatically from your shooting days and checklists. You don't have to update it manually, it just reflects what's happening. So if someone asks you, is the Electrosonics kit free next week? You open the app and you know. Instantly, no cross-referencing anything. For people who run rental companies or manage a large kit, this changes how you operate. Your entire inventory, all its status visible on one screen. Sometimes if you need gear you don't own, you rent from a supplier. Or you're buying something specifically for a production. That goes into bookings. You log the supplier, the cost, whether it's confirmed or pending. Every booking is attached to the job it belongs to. What I like about this is it keeps financial information in context. Instead of having costs scattered across emails and receipts, they're right there, attached to the relevant day. When you're wrapping a job and reconciling what was spent, it's all in one place, and you can actually find it. Templates are one of my favorite features to show people. You have a standard kit, you build that list once in SoundSheet and save it as a template. Next time you're setting up a new day, you apply the template. One tap. Your full kit list is there, ready to go, and you just adjust whatever's different for that specific job. And before you confirm, SoundSheet runs a conflict check against your inventory. If anything on that template is already booked out on an overlapping day, it tells you right there, so you can fix it before it's a problem. It's a small thing, but it's the kind of thing that makes the whole system feel thought through. This section is specifically for sound designers and sound effects recordists, and it's one I put a lot of thought into. When you're planning a recording day, whether you're going out to capture ambiences, props, vehicles, whatever, you're working with a mental list of sounds. Categories of things you want, specific entries within those categories. SoundSheet gives you a proper structure for that. You organize your sessions by category and then by individual entry. You plan what you're going for before the day. You work through it on location, and you've got a record of what the session covered. It's purpose-built for how SFX days actually work, not adapted from something generic. And that matters because the workflow of a recording day is pretty specific. You're not just ticking tasks off a list, you're working through creative and technical targets. And you want to know where you are in that at any given moment. Before any shoot, set day or recording session, there's usually a scout. You go to the location, you assess it from a sound perspective, and you take notes. SoundSheet has a dedicated section for this with structured fields built around what actually matters for sound. Acoustics, noise floor, power availability, access logistics. Having it structured is genuinely useful. When you look back at your scout notes the night before the job, you're reading clear information. And it's attached to the right day in the app, so it lives with the job it belongs to. Not in a random notes app somewhere, not in a voice memo you'd have to listen back to. Everything syncs via iCloud, automatically across all your devices. In practice, you prep at home on your iPad, you arrive on set and pull out your iPhone. Everything is there. Any update you make on either device syncs to the other without you having to think about it. And on privacy, SoundSheet doesn't collect your production data, doesn't share it, doesn't send it anywhere. Your clients, your gear, your schedule, it stays on your device and in your private iCloud. That felt important to get right.
That's SoundSheet, one app that connects your schedule, your inventory, your gear checklists, your bookings, your scout notes, and your sound effects planning, and makes them work together. I had a lot of fun building this. There's something generally exciting about identifying a workflow problem and then actually making the thing that solves it. And as someone who works in sound, building a tool specifically for this industry felt really worthwhile. It's free on the App Store, link is in the description. If you use it and have thoughts, features you'd love to see, things that could work differently, anything, I'd really love to hear it. Drop a comment or reach out. This is an active project and feedback from people actually using it is gold. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and see you in the next one.